Slowly lift your heels up. Bend your knees a lot. Good. And then really note, see if your knees are directly in front of the center of your feet. And if they're not, maybe move the knees out a little bit towards the side. Inhale, come forward for a wide armed plank pose. Exhale, drop the knees back down, untuck your toes, come back to your table pose. And then again, spin your middle fingers together to touch, finding measurement. So when we find our measurement, we're taking out the guesswork. Spin your middle fingers back to face forward. And when we know that measurement, our guessing game starts to improve. So I know if you're like me, I've been cooking a lot more lately. So the difference between a teaspoon and a tablespoon is a big difference, right? So if you add a tablespoon of salt to something, that's going to change the recipe completely. So just like our guessing game starts to improve with measurement, really note where you are. And then again, push down through the center of the palms to lift up and out of the shoulders. Slowly take your right finger, spin your right finger to face your knee. Turn the wrist. Shift the weight a little bit more into the thumb to open up through the outer part of the right shoulder. And then keep that rooting through the thumb. Shift a little bit more weight into the pinky edge of the finger to open up your collarbone. And then I want you to take the gaze forward, but don't use the neck. I want you to use your pelvis. Start to draw your pubic bone forward towards the front of the mat. From here, start to circulate your shoulder over to the right. Come all the way back. And then circle around. So think that your right shoulder moves on a clock face to 3, back to 6, over to 9, and then come back through 12. So as you start to do this, we're going to do this a few times. Really start to tilt yourself around, like you're spinning yourself around that imaginary clock. As you travel around your circumstances. We have 7 major glands. We have 7 major chakras. You have hips, you have a pubis in front, you have a tailbone in back, and you're really taking those points to make up a material map that you're really spinning yourself around. Think that you're moving through time. Think that you're working the container of the hip joint a little bit like a salad spinner. And then close your eyes. And then add a breath to get a little bit more. Start to notice if there's something that you want to get around, to get out of it so it becomes personal. And then slow it down. Come all the way back. Keep your right hand rooted. Lengthen your left leg straight back like a plank. So opposite hand, opposite arm. That's it. And then turn your left foot down like a warrior 1. Take your left foot down 45 degrees. Push the weight into your thumb on your right side and the pinky edge of your hand. Take your left hand to your low back at your sacrum. Aha. Woo. If this is too much, you're at home, so don't worry about it. You can spin your right hand back to face the front. But this is where we start to access our shoulder. This is where we access our lung. And then think your left hip goes over towards the left side of the mat. Put your brain in your left foot. Put the weight into the ball of your left foot. Keep turning your left thigh in a little bit towards the left. But notice if your right hip is coming too much out towards the right side. Keep your right hip in a little bit more. And then start to look up, keeping your left hand at the sacrum of the low back. Aha, I know this is hard, so stay with me. And then start to draw the tip of your right shoulder blade to your left collarbone. Stay or reach your left thumb directly over your ear. Good. Take a side bend with the left arm. Reach it up and over towards the front of the mat. Draw your chin in towards your armpit. That's it. Look down, plant your left hand down. Drop your left knee back down, and then spin your right fingertips back to face forward. Whew, we made it, right? Sit back on your heels. So good. Tense your fingertips. Good. Lift your buttock bone off of your heels. Keep your chin tucked in, unless you really want to stretch the neck this evening. Really maybe start to look forward or look up. But as best as you can, put this in your thighs. Your wrist pain, if you had any, will start to go away from here. Lift your buttock bone off your heels. That's it. Pubis forward, tailbone back and down. Think your pubic bone goes out and your tailbone goes back and down. That's it. And then drop your hips back to your heels. Come back again. to your table pose. And then spin your left middle finger to face your left knee. Start to turn, and imagine that clock. 12 o'clock is in front of you, 3 o'clock to the right, 9 o'clock to the left, and then 6 o'clock is right behind you. Start to turn counterclockwise, over to 9, back to 6, over to 3, back through 12. Travel in the opposite direction, counterclockwise. This is the spin of baseball. And then start to notice if this side maybe feels easier, maybe it feels a little bit more challenging. And a big part of what we don't notice is that we don't really get the best of us. So start to notice where your blind spots are so that they don't get in your way. Maybe see what hip is harder to make contact with. Have you lost the contact in your feet? Big toe, pinky toe, center arch of the foot. Which arch of the clock is more difficult to get around? And really none of this is judgment, but it's just more information. Notice that the tilting of the pelvis brings you around and around and around and around. Your pelvis comes forward and your butt bones stick back. Think that you're coming around yourself and then you're going back into yourself as your shell. Become more acquainted with what this brings you. And then come back to the middle and pause. Keep your left hand down, opposite hand, opposite arm. Lengthen your right foot back like it's coming into a plank pose. And then take your brain, put your brain in your right foot. Take your right foot into a 45-degree angle, like a warrior 1 foot pattern. Shift the weight first into your left thumb, left pinky. Make that connection bone to open up the collarbone. And then send your right hand to your sacrum at your low back. That's it. From here, think your right foot presses down into the ball of the foot and you're turning your right inner thigh in just slightly. That's it. And then think your left hip goes out towards the side. Make that connection. Maybe start to take the gaze up. Right thumb directly over the ear if you want a little bit more. That's it. Take your right arm side bend. Reach it up and over towards the front of the mat. Tuck your chin into your armpit. That's it. Look down. Plant the right hand down. Spin the fingertips back forward. Drop back onto the knees. And then walk the hands all the way back to the heels. That's it. Again, tend the fingertips. Buttock bone lifts up and off the heels. Chin can stay tucked in. If you want to open, look up a little bit more towards your ceiling. Take one more full breath in. Open. Maybe stick out your tongue. Sink the buttock bones back to the heels. That's it. And then come back, again, table pose. Remeasure, middle finger spin back to face forward, back to face towards one another. Then once you have that measurement, spin the middle fingers back to face forward. Lengthen your right foot back like a plank. Lengthen your left foot back to come into plank pose. That's it. Stay here. Press down to the center of the palms to lift up and rise up. Look forward, but again, use your pubic bone to look forward. Can you connect your big toe, pinky toe, draw your heels directly over the balls of your feet? And then find the volume. Inhale, up, down, right, left, front, and back. Exhale, feel like you're returning back to the center point of your chest. Do that again. Inhale, up, down, right, left, front, and back. Exhale, feel like you're returning back to the center point of your chest. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees a lot in down dog today, everybody. Really, really bend your knees. Think that you're a little bit more able in your chest when you bend your knees. Maybe sway a little bit side to side. Think buoyancy in the upper body, stability in the lower body. And then find stillness, down dog. Look forward towards your thumbs. Open your hips. Unfold yourself, plank. Look forward, look out. Send the hips up and back. Big bend in knees. Fold, fold, fold back in, down dog. 3 more like that. Plank, come forward, open, unfold, fold back in, down dog. 2, inhale to plank, look forward. You can also do this on the knees. Exhale, fold back in, down dog. 1 more. Inhale forward for plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up and back. Think your left heel goes down towards the mat. Lift your right heel up. And then see if you can really spin your inner right thigh in and up. but your outer right hip goes down. Draw your right knee into your navel. Look at your right thumb. Step your right foot to your right thumb. Take your hands wide and off the mat, everybody. Think your right hand goes towards 3 on a clock face. Your left hand goes towards 9. And then your head and pubic bone lifts towards 12. Your tailbone presses back towards 6. Find a little bit more air in your tires. So lift your torso up. Really lift your butt bones up and away from the ground, everybody. That's it. So you create more space. And then drop the back knee down. Untuck the back toes. Root your back foot back. Reach your arms forward and up. That's it. Lunge forward by pressing into your right big toe mound. And then from here, take your arms out wide into the side. That's it. Notice that just your palm can turn up. Really want you to rotate your upper arm bone out at the shoulder. So really turn your full arm bone out. That's it. And then take your left hand and right hand forward. Take your left hand underneath your right. And I want you to grab your right hand to your left wrist. So a little bit different variation of an eagle pose. That's it. Lift your elbows up to chin height. And then press down through your right foot. Go a little bit deeper with your lunge, but only if it feels accessible into your lower body. That's it. Stay and breathe. Start to press down a little bit more through your right foot. Keep lengthening and lifting up through the left side of your hip. That's it. Stay for one more breath. And then take your left hand down. Reach your right arm around against your low back at your sacrum. That's it. Press down through your left hand. And then see if your tip of your left shoulder blade turns a little bit more open to open up through your right collarbone. Tip of your left shoulder blade opens to your right collarbone, making an X marks the spot in the center of your chest. That's it. Reach your right arm up, only if it feels supportive in your body. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up. Think plank in the left leg, heel back. That's it. Take your right arm up and over your ear, chin into armpit, and then look down. Set your right hand to the inside of the right foot. Walk the hands around for a wide leg fold. Parallel through both feet, and then look forward. Reach your hands far out in front of you. Find your fingertips like you're cupping a ball. And then start to bend your right knee. Keep your left leg straight. Move your hips over to 3 o'clock. Shift the weight into both heels. Come back to 6 o'clock. Bend your left knee, but keep your right leg straight. Start to move around that clock face to 9. And then look forward. Go out, 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 out towards 12. Keep rotating with time. Bend your right knee. Come around the clock to 3. Heels back, hips back to 6. Come around to 9. Come back forward through 12 o'clock. Good. And then again, start to notice this natural pattern through time, moving through space, moving around that clock. That's it. Good. Once you finish that circle, come all the way back. Walk the hands around to face your right foot. Come into a lunge. And don't worry about the stance. We're going to step forward. Step your left foot behind your right. Left foot behind your right. That's it. Cross the ankles. So you can align pinky toe edge of the foot to pinky toe edge of the foot. And then bend, bend, bend through your knees. Reach your arms forward and up. Stand up tall. Good. Interlace your hands. Push up through the center of your palms. Root your feet down, but rise up through the center of your palms. Bend your right knee a lot. That should be the one crossed in front. And if it's not, switch it. A little bit of dancing's okay. Yeah, some of you are dancing. That's okay. Side bend up and over towards your right side. Up and over to your right side. But squeeze your inner thighs in. Think your inner thighs go in, but keep that volume to press the outer thighs out. Come all the way back to your center. Bend from your knees. Hinge from the hips. Think your knees go forward and your butt bones go back. Send your hands all the way down. That's it. Plant your hands. Lunge your left foot back. Step your right foot back, down dog. Inhale forward for plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. That's it. Lift your left leg up and back for down dog split. Root your right heel down, but lift your left leg up. Think your inner left thigh spins in and your outer left thigh spins down. Draw your left knee into your navel. Look forward, look out. Lengthen your pubic bone forward and your tailbone back. Think your left knee travels forward, but your right heel anchors you back. And then step your left foot rather to your left thumb. That's it. Take your hands again wide to the outside of the mat. Right hand to 3, left hand to about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And then start to lengthen your pubic bone towards 12. Take your tailbone back towards 6. Put a little air in the tires again, everybody. Lift your butt bone up. That's it. And then drop your back knee down. Untuck your back toes. Really root your right big toe, pinky toe, center of the arch back. Then lift your arms forward and up. So good. That's it. Take your arms again, wide into the side. Turn your upper arm bone out at the shoulder. Send your palms forward. Good. Right arm underneath the left, Garudasana. Again, don't clasp the hands. Variation today. Grab your right hand to your left wrist. Right hand to your left wrist. And then try to get your elbows in line with your chin. That's it. Think you're lunging into a 90-degree angle with your left foot. Press down into your left big toe mound. That's it. So when we start to find these areas of circumference, we're really finding the effort. Allow yourself to be effortful, but rise up to catch a little bit of grace. And then slowly unwind, take your right hand down. Reach your left hand around again to your low back at your sacrum. That's it. And then start to tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up. Only if you want a little bit more today. That back knee can always be dropped. Put your brain into your right foot. Press your right heel back, but lengthen your pubic bone forward. And then start to turn the tip of your right shoulder blade to your left collarbone, making an X marks a spot in the center of your chest. Keep your hand on your sacrum or reach your left thumb directly over your ear. And then reach the left hand up and over side bend. Chin tucks in to the armpit. Make contact. Look down, plant both hands down to the inside of the feet. Walk the feet around parallel. Prasarita Pradhanasana. Take your hands out, 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 out. Go further than you think, so you're really creating a sense of imbalance. And then start to shift the weight to the left. Go counterclockwise. Bend your left knee, keep your right leg straight. And if you went the opposite way, don't worry about it, right? We each have a tendency to move in a space that feels familiar. So something doesn't feel right, notice, but really notice without a sense of judgment. Go round the clock counterclockwise. Put yourself in your own circumference. Get a full 360-degree view of what's around you. And then again, maybe put something that you want to get around into the practice to make it really personal. Is there an obstacle? Is it a point of practice? Feel yourself at the center so you can really feel your potential. Feel the effort in your feet, catch the grace along the way, so you can really find yourself in your center. Do one more round, circle all the way around, and then walk the hands around your left foot. Come back to face forward, and then step your right foot behind your left this time, everybody. Right foot behind your left. That's it. Bend, bend, bend through your knees. Pinky toe to pinky toe as best as you can. Bend your knees, hinge from the hips. That's it. Look forward, reach your arms all the way up and over. So good, so pretty. Interlace your hands with the webbing. Switch the interlacing. Good, good, good. And then switch and then push up through the center of your palms. Push down through your perineum, but push up through your pineal gland. That's the top center of your head. Think you're pushing something heavy down, but you're pressing a piano above your head. And then bend your left knee a lot. The left knee is in front. If you need to dance a little bit and switch it, switch it. Side bend up and over towards the left side. Good, so good. Take a full deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, come all the way back to your center. Forward bend. Think your knees go forward, your butt bone goes back. Drop your hands all the way down, hands down. That's it. Step your right foot back like a plank. Step your left foot back to plank pose. Pause, 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 pause. Inhale, up, down, left, right, front, and back. Exhale, come back to the center. Bend your knees, lift your hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Drop your knees down, everybody. Hips back to the heels. We're going to do a variation of upward facing dog or Vamukha Svanasana, and we're going to use the blocks today. Take your blocks. I'm going to demo it for those that haven't done it with me. You're going to take your blocks side by side, stacking them. And just watch the demo. So the toes are going to stay tucked in for this whole thing. And there's two things that kind of usually happen that throws us off alignment or kind of throws us off of our own personal sphere and map when we do this. We're going to tuck our toes in, and we're going to rest our tops of our thighs onto the ground. So if I'm not using my legs, if my knees are bent or my feet are too wide, I'm really putting it into my back. Your feet are a direct relationship to your pelvis. So notice first where your feet are. Are your heels directly behind the center of your knees? Push your heels back to take it out of your low back. And then make a 90-degree angle from your shoulder to your wrist. If your hand is too far forward, it's going to hurt the shoulder, right? So when we come into this upward facing dog, you're going to press your heels back to turn the legs on. You're going to draw your pubic bone forward, and you're going to draw your tailbone back, and you're going to open your collarbones for more capacity, more potential. And then we're going to lift up and back. The knees stay bent today in our practice for down dog. And then you're going to come back and forth 5 times. Up dog, down dog, 5 times. So you're really folding yourself and unfolding yourself in this practice. Back bends, which is up dog, is really about breaking our habits when things fall apart. And then upward facing dog and down dog is that relationship of folding and folding back in, really noticing yourself. So set yourself up, get comfortable with it for the first breath. Some of you have done this with me, which is fun. This is really just fun. And then when you're ready, come back, downward facing dog. So 5 times, and you choose your pacing. You can either come slow, you can move fast. Beautiful, Melanie. That's it. Beautiful, Tony. So good. Beautiful, Nikki. Love the props. Props are sold out on Amazon. I checked. Pretty much. But you can get them. I saw the other day they have them at Manduka. So, do your best. Good. And then when you're ready, come back. Drop your knees down. That's it, Tony. So pretty. So pretty. Good. Drop your knees back down. Now we're going to add a chaturanga, but only if you want it. So the blocks give you more support. And we're going to do the same thing. So watch the demo for a moment. We're going to press our heels back. We're going to drop the thighs down. And from here, I can choose to bend the elbows to come down for chaturanga. I'm going to come back to up dog, pull back to down dog. So it's up dog, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Up dog, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. 5 times. Play with that. If you need to drop the knees, drop the knees. That's it. But really use the hip joint so you're able to breathe in to the pose, breathing more capacity. That's it. The more you bend your knees, the more you take the weight out of the upper body. That's it. So good. So good. That's it. And then when you're ready, drop back down onto the knees. Send your hips back to your heels. Child's pose for a moment, but meet in down dog when you're ready. Meet in down dog for when you're ready. Good. Lift your heels up. Look forward at your hands. Step, hop, or jump to the top of your mat. Take your hands, make 2 fists. Slide the fists to the inner arches of the feet. Measure your feet hip distance. Bend your knees a lot. Grab opposite hand to opposite elbow. And then think your knees go forward, your butt bones go back. Start to lift your chest all the way up. Open your hips. Hands in line with the ears. That's it. Set your hands down next to your hips. Tadasana mountain pose. Beautiful. Shift the weight into your left foot. Put a little bend into your left knee. Press down to your left big toe mound, pinky toe center of the heel. And then start to lift your right knee up. That's it. Turn your right leg out of the hip. That's it. Set your foot above or below the knee for Vrikshasana tree pose. Reach your arms out wide into the side. And then turn your upper arm bone out at the shoulder. Send your hands forward, left arm underneath the right. Garudasana variation, grab your wrist. So really cuff your wrist like a bracelet. That's it. Lift your elbows up to chin height. And then maybe try to tuck your chin to the top part of your arm. So you're really making good contact. This is for the thyroid. So when we make good contact, we're really being effortful. We're being tenacious. We're really finding that space of rooting down so that we can rise up to find more potential. That's it. Stay for one more breath. Release the arms down next to the hips, but keep the right knee in tree pose. Take the right knee back forward, and then set your right foot down. Really good work. Shift the weight right away into your right foot. Shift the weight into the big toe mound, pinky toe center of the heel. Bend your right knee. Lift your left leg up to hip height. Turn your leg out at the hip. Send your foot above or below the knee for Vrikshasana tree pose. And then again, reaching your arms out wide into the side. Turn your upper arm bone out at the shoulder. Really notice when you do that the sternum lifts, but you're rooting all the way down, really finding your center at your perineum, rooting down, but lifting up and out of your pineal gland. That's it. Take your arms out forward, right arm underneath the left, and then cuff the whole of the wrist. That's it. So good. Lift your elbows up to chin height. Draw your chin on top of your upper arm. Make good contact. That's it. Stay for one more breath. Exhale your arms out into the side. That's it. Pull your left knee in. Set your left foot down. Really, really strong, beautiful tree poses. Good. Inhale, reach your arms forward and up. That's it. Exhale, take your arms out wide. Send your hands back down to your hips for Tadasana Mountain Pose. Good. And then step your feet, turn to the left. Step your feet to the widest part of your mat as best as you can, everybody. Take your hands into your hips. Put the brain into the left foot. Left foot. Turn your left big toe mound in just slightly. Bend your right knee. Lift your right heel up. Turn your leg out of the hip to send your toes forward for a Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2 foot pattern. Good, really shift the weight into your big toe, but use your heel to find a 90-degree angle from your right knee to your right heel. Straighten your back leg, straighten your back knee. Take your arms out wide into a T shape. Look at your wrists. Are your wrists in one line with your ankles? And then really try to get that front thigh parallel as best as you can to the front of your mat. So some of you need to go a little bit wider in this stance. That's it. Notice if your torso is leaning forward, or can you keep your torso head directly over the hips? And then take your left hand to the front of your left thigh. Left hand to the front of your left thigh. Start to draw an imaginary line. All of this with your imagination. From your right buttock bone to your left knee. Draw an imaginary line using your imagination from your left buttock bone to your right knee, making an X marks the spot again in the center of your thighs. Right buttock bone, left knee, left buttock bone, right knee, X marks the spot. Notice if I turned you a little bit more, come back to warrior 2 with the arms. And then slowly begin to push down through your right big toe mound, straighten your leg. Take your left hand one more time to the front of your left hip. Turn your left hip in a little bit to the top left corner of the mat. Back thigh rotates in a little bit, but your right hip bone goes back. And then find your triangle pose. Reach your right hand down, and then just like we've been doing, left hand to the sacrum at the back. Left hand to the sacrum at the back. Good, push the weight into your big toe mound. If you need to bend the knee a little bit, bend the knee. From your outer right hip in. And then think your left thigh goes in and down, but your right hip goes back. And then draw an imaginary line again, left buttock bone, right knee, right buttock bone, left knee, X marks the spot in the center of the thighs. Right buttock bone, left knee, left buttock bone, right knee, X marks the spot. And then start to turn against time, go counterclockwise, turn the tip of your right shoulder to your left collarbone. X marks the spot in the center of your chest, tip of your right shoulder to your left collarbone, X marks the spot. And then maybe start to reach your left thumb directly over your ear. Can you look up at your left hand, but use your right eye to get all the way around yourself? I mean, that full 360. Reach your left hand up and over the ear, chin to armpit. Press your feet down, rise all the way up. Good, hands to the hips. Straighten both legs, parallel to both feet. Whew, we made it. Switch sides. Turn your right big toe in just slightly. We're gonna do warrior two, second side. Bend your left knee, lift your left heel. Turn your leg out the hip. That's it. And then I like to wiggle my toes just a little bit more forward. Bend your left knee to find 90 degrees. Think 90-degree bend from your knee to your ankle. Shift the weight into your heel. And then take your hands just for a moment, reach them wide into the side. Put your brain into your right foot, right heel. Straighten your back leg, straighten your back knee. That's it. And then again, take your right hand to the top of your right thigh. Think your right thigh turns in just slightly. That's it. And then use your imagination again. Start to connect your right buttock bone to your left knee. Left buttock bone to your right knee, making X marks the spot. Right buttock bone, left knee. Left buttock bone, right knee. X marks the spot. Take your hands, reach them out again. Virabhadrasana 2. Stay for a breath. Full breath in. Exhale, breath out. Shift the weight into your left big toe mound. Left big toe mound. Straighten your leg. Think your left quadricep pulls up towards your hip. And then reach your left hand towards your shin. Just like we've been practicing, right hand to sacrum at the low back. So when we put our hand on our sacrum, we're putting ourselves in the middle. We're putting ourselves in the middle of our circumstance. We're putting ourselves in the middle of our surroundings so that we can become a sphere. We don't just look behind us. We don't just look in front of us, but we also look around us, getting that full perspective. And then start to turn that right thigh in and down a little bit. Left hip pulls back. Good. And then really put that imaginary X into your pelvis again. Right buttock bone, left knee. Left buttock bone, right knee. X marks the spot. Right buttock bone, left knee. Left buttock bone, right knee. Maybe that right hand starts to lift. Thumb over the ear. That's it. Can you turn? But turn using your shoulders. Tip of your left shoulder to the top of your right collarbone. X marks the spot in the center of your chest. Tip of left shoulder to right collarbone. X marks the spot. Reach your hand up and over your ear. Chin to the armpit. So good. And then press your feet down, rise all the way up. Hands into the hips. Turn your feet back to parallel. And then step your feet together. Whew, so good. Step all the way to the top of your mat. Good. Come back to tree, come back to Tadasana. Press your feet down. Turn your upper arm bones out of the shoulder to send your palms forward. Think your perineum presses you down, but your pineal gland, that's the top of your head, pushes up. That's it. Push your feet down. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bend your knees. Fold at the hip crease. Knees go back, knees go forward, butt bone goes back, fold. Traditional vinyasa, if you want it and you know it. Hands to shins, look out. Step or hop back. Chaturanga Dandasana. That's it. Upward facing dog. Open to yourself. That's it. Downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Really good. Take a breath. Full breath in. Full breath out. Do that again. Inhale. Up, down, left, right, front, and back. Exhale. Feel like you are returning back to your center. Lift your right leg straight up and back towards the sky. Draw your right knee in into your navel. Think your right knee goes forward, but put the brain into your left foot. Press your left heel back and then look forward, but use your pelvis to bring you forward. Step your right foot forward to your right thumb. Take your hands wide out towards the side. Right hand to 3, left hand towards 9. Draw your pubic bone forward towards 12, your tailbone back towards 6, and then put some air in your tires. Lift your buttock bone up. So it's really in line with your shoulders. So you're finding more space. So you're looking forward to find your potential. And then take your left foot, turn your left foot down 45 degrees. Warrior 1, reach your arms forward and up. That's it. Get your arms in line with your ears. Shift the weight into your heel of your front foot so you're really finding that 90-degree bend. And then put your brain into your back foot. Press your heel back, but keep turning your left leg forward. That's it. Stay for one more breath. Hinge and fold from the hips. We're going into Vira 3. Reach the arms forward. Warrior 3 pose. Turn the back ball of the left foot. Lift your left leg up. That's it. Slowly begin to bend through your right knee a lot. And then cross left ankle behind right ankle. Release your hands all the way down. Pinky toe to pinky toe. Bend your knees. Think your knees go forward, your butt bones go back. Reach your arms all the way forward and up. That's it. So good. Bend a lot through your right knee again. Your right leg is in the front. Take your left ankle, grab a hold of your left ankle with your hands, and then come into a 4 square. That's it. Come into a 4 square. Heel on top of the middle of the thigh, and then big bend into the right knee. Think your right knee goes forward, but your right hip goes back. Reach your arms forward. Take your left arm underneath your right. Eagle variation. Hand cups a hold of the right arm. That's it. And then start to draw that imaginary line again. Right buttock bone, left knee, left buttock bone to right knee. X marks the spot. Right buttock bone, left knee, left buttock bone, right knee. See what you can change. Maybe notice what's different. Are you off your center? And then slowly press, rise to standing. Keep the arm variation. Maybe you stay in that 4 square. You come into now full Garudasana, eagle. Yeah, if you want the arm balance, take it. I know, my day can't be complete sometimes without arm balancing either, Melanie. So good. Good. Full Garudasana. Squeeze the left leg in and around. So the left leg is on top. And if you switch it, don't worry. We'll do the second side. And then see if you can sit your hips back, but draw your knees forward. Lift your chest off of your waist. That's it. And then really get around yourself. Allow yourself to go inward, to go outward. That's it. Stay for one more breath. And then slowly rise. Unwind yourself. Feet together. Beautiful. Reach your arms all the way up and over. Whew. Fold all the way back in. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Look forward, look out. Vinyasa, step, step, hop, or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana. Good. You can always do a little handstand since you're at home, right? You do what you need to. Down dog, that's it. Lift your left leg up and back. So good. Step your left, or draw your left knee in rather, towards your navel. Good. A little bit of core engagement. Think your left knee goes forward, but right heel goes back. Step your left foot to your left thumb. Take your hands wide. Right hand to 3, left hand to 9. Draw your pubic forward towards 12, your tailbone back towards 6. And then lift up, find a little bit of air in your tires. Lift your buttock bone in line with your shoulders. Step your right foot 45 degrees. And then reach the arms forward and up. Virabhadrasana 2. Try to get that front knee nice and parallel. So some of you need to step a little bit wider if you can. Yeah, it should be challenging, taking things a little bit slower, right, in this virtual format. Really shift the weight into your front heel, but rise up and out of your chest. Lift your chest off of your waist. That's it. Put your brain into your right heel. Press your right heel back, but keep turning your right thigh forward. That's it. And then slowly hinge from the hips. Reach your arms forward, and then start to lift your right leg up for Virabhadrasana 3. That's it, everybody. Good. Are you looking forward, but are you also looking out towards the sides to really get around yourself in time, noticing yourself in your center, finding your surroundings, finding your circumstance, and using your imagination. Bend your left knee a lot. Draw your right knee all the way in and up. Grab a hold of your ankle. 4 square. Feel free to use a wall as well, and that's a little bit more accessible for you. Good. Reach your hands out wide to the side. Send your arms forward. Good. Left arm underneath the right eagle. So if any of this you did on the first side the opposite way, just switch it. That's it. Good. And then start to put that imagination into your pelvis. Right buttock bone, left knee, left buttock bone, right knee. X marks the spot. Right buttock bone, left knee, left buttock bone, right knee. X marks the spot. Slowly keep the arms in Garudasana. Cross, making Garudasana. Top leg on top. Squeeze the thighs in, but think that the inner thighs go in. to allow the outer hips to press out towards the side. That's it. That's it. Good. Think your butt bones go back, but your knees go forward. But don't let your chest come onto your waist. Lift your chest off of your waist. And then can you look forward and look out? Get your chin and nose parallel to the ground. Stay for one more breath. Then slowly, slowly unwind. Step your feet down. Reach your arms forward and up. Good. Fold all the way in. Vinyasa, hands to shins, look out, look forward, step, hop, jump back, maybe a handstand along the way if you have it. Some of you are like, no. That's okay. Downward facing dog. That's it. Good. Lift your right leg up and back, down, dog split. Good. Draw your right knee into your navel. Think your right knee goes forward, but your left heel goes back. And then drop your knee down for pigeon. Pigeon pose. Good. Walk your hands back, everybody. We're going to change the pigeon just slightly. So if you know that you need a prop underneath, your right hip doesn't touch the ground, that means you need a prop. Block underneath your right buttock bone. And then take your hands, just like we've been doing, off the mat. Right hand to 3, left hand to 9. Put your grain of your left foot to push the weight into the big toe, pinky toe, ball, and arch of the foot. Lift your pubic bone out and up, but draw your tailbone back and down. Pubic bone out and up, tailbone back and down. So you're really lifting, and then you're starting to walk forward and fold. If you haven't tried this, if you're kind of new to practicing with me, take your second block if you have one, and I want you to go for your spine. So put the second block underneath your diaphragm, So you're making good contact. And this gets your hips, just like we've been putting that imaginary air in the tires, this gets your hips in line with your shoulders. So that your shoulders aren't below your hips, and you're creating that space in the lungs. And then breathe in, up, down, right, left, front, and back. Exhale, feel like you're returning back to your center. Do that again. Inhale, up, down, right, left, front, and back. Exhale, return back to your center. Put your brain into your pelvis. Again, right buttock bone, all of this with your imagination. Right buttock bone, left knee, left buttock bone to right knee. X marks this spot. Right buttock bone, left knee, left buttock bone, right knee. X marks this spot. And then notice if your pubic bone is off towards maybe one side or another, or is your tailbone off to one side or another, use that imaginary clock face to get your pubic bone forward towards 12, out and up, and your tailbone back towards 6, back and down, putting yourself at the center, finding your spit. Stay for one more breath. Walk your hands all the way back. Lift your chest up. Really good. If you had a prop, take it off into the side. That's it. And then step back to down dog. If you'd like to flow, flow. Take the opportunity to really allow yourself to come around yourself. Go in, go out, go up, go back. Come back to your center. And then when you arrive, left leg up and back. Draw your left knee in. That's it. Left knee goes forward. Put your brain in your right foot. Draw your right heel back. That's it. And then set your shin down. Again, if you used a block, set yourself up. But before you fold in, put yourself in that groundedness by taking your hands out and wide to the side. Right hand to 3, left hand to 9. Pubic bone draws forward to 12. Tailbone goes back and down towards 6. And then when you're ready, walk your hands forward. Try the block again if you liked it underneath the diaphragm. So you're really finding yourself. You're finding that good boundary, good contact. And this also keeps your buttock bone in line with your shoulders so that you can find more capacity in your lungs. And then draw the imaginary line again today. Right buttock bone, left knee, left buttock bone, right knee. X marks the spot in the center. Right buttock bone, left knee, left buttock bone, right knee. X marks the spot. Pubic bone goes out and up. Tailbone goes back and down. Pubis is forward towards 12. Tailbone is back towards 6. Finding yourself at the center. And then really notice, maybe one side feels easier than another. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Where can you put yourself in the center, making yourself into a container? And then noticing your blind spots so that it doesn't get in your way. So that you don't allow those blind spots to get the best of you. But it's giving you more information. Take one more breath. Exhale out the whole thing. Begin to walk your hands back. Lift your chest all the way up. Take your props just off to the sides. And then come over onto one hip. Send both legs out around in front of you. Grab your strap if you have one. If not, that's okay. We're going to do Supta Pada Gustasana. Lay all the way down and onto your back. Draw your right knee in into your chest. Lengthen your left leg long. And then strap around the ball of the foot if you have it. Start to straighten, lengthen your right leg. That's it. As you lift your right leg up, everybody, that's it. See if your shoulders are lifting up with you. If you can make that good contact by drawing the shoulders down towards the ground. That's it. Stay for a breath, full breath in. Full breath out. Good. Put a micro bend into your right knee. Take the strap just off to the side and then draw your right leg over your left leg. Supine twist. Arms out wide into a T shape. That's it. Turn your right palm up, everybody, so you're keeping that right arm opening out at your shoulder to open up your collarbone. That's it. And then maybe you look away from your knee to open up through your neck. That's it. Good. What can you surrender and let go of? And start to draw the right knee in into the chest. Switch sides, grab your strap. Draw your strap around the left sole of your foot. Go for the arch again. So think your arch both lifts you up, but also roots you down. That's it. Good. Make good contact in your pelvis. So all these things that we did with the pelvis today, the whole body's interconnected, right? And when we're interconnected, we're really finding ourselves at the center, right? We know that we have 2 feet, 2 knees, 2 hips, 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 ears. But it's the whole thing put together that really makes that good contact. Then bend your left knee. Take the strap to the side. Travel the left knee over to the side. Gentle supine twist. Supta Pada Gustasana. Arms out wide into that T. And then again, turn the left palm up to really open the arm up at the shoulder. That's it. That's it. And then when you're ready, draw the knee back in into the chest. Hug both knees in. That's it. And then set yourself up either for Shavasana or for a meditation. And so I'll give you the choice. We're just about at 6 o'clock. I've noticed that the virtual format is a little bit harder for me to keep time. So I'm close to time, but not right at time. So if you have the time to either sit for about 3 minutes and meditate, have the invitation to do so. I'm not going to take offense if you need to go and have dinner or, run off to your millions of activities, right? But if you need to, put yourself in a resting pose. That's it. And then really start to drop into your interior world. Imagine you're finding the center point. And start to find the center point of your chest, that point of the chest that we've been working with throughout practice. Tip of the right shoulder to left collarbone, tip of the left shoulder to the right collarbone. X marks the spot in the center of the chest. Tip of the right collarbone to left shoulder, tip of the left shoulder to the right collarbone. X marks that spot. And then think that the breath is really voluminous and that you're playing for that volume. Inhale up and down, right and left, front and back. Exhale, return back to the center point of your chest, the center of your being. Feel that you're occupying the breath in that space, the space of your being, the space that you inhabit. And start to notice, if you're on your back, the ground beneath you. If you're seated, the ground behind you. Feel your front and your back, your right and your left, your up and your down. Feel that fire is rising behind you, the fire of your efforts. Feel that rain is coming down in front of you. And rain is something we can't make. It's really something from the universe. And so the metaphor here is steam. The whole practice is to make that steam, to find that balance between our effort and our ease. Our citram and our sukham, maybe our yin or yang. And really this whole practice is to make steam. And if you don't make steam, you become musty. And so you want that fire to rise just enough so that you don't catch fire. It's an effortless effort. But the balance is not just in two parts, it's playing the third. We have to catch ourselves when the effort's getting the best of us. And then we have to catch ourselves if we're just waiting around for things to happen. And it's order for things to happen that we have to have that gas in our tank to get us through. And if you're seated, take both hands together, make a third hand. Find yourself sitting the center. If you're on your back, take one hand to the heart, the opposite hand to the heart, making that third hand. Two halves of a whole coming together to make you. And then if you're on your back, roll to one side, come up and over. And then draw the hands together, namaste. Two halves of a whole come together. Your masculine, your feminine, to make you at the center. Close the eyes if it feels inviting to you, or just pick a spot down the center of the floor. Let's close with a breath. Take a deep breath, inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Blink the eyes open. So wonderful to practice with you all. So fun. Thanks for taking the time today, the effort and the ease. I'll take you all off mute.